All right, so here is our last example for the secant, cosecant, tangent, cotangent notes, and graphing that out and everything. Now here again, it's going to be important that you know the different parts of these functions so that when we have these, you can actually go backwards and forwards. So we have the equations and we already know how to change them and find take the pieces of the equation or the function and find the period, the phase shift, and the vertical shift. But now they don't want you to do that. They give you the period, the phase shift, and the vertical shift. And now they say create that equation for the secant function. So here you're creating that function, the secant function for with a period of pi, a phase shift of pi over 3, and a vertical shift of -3. So in other words, you are going to create the equation with the transformations in it. So it's not going to be bad. I don't think so. I don't think it will be. All right. So first off, before we actually do any work with it, we have to remember what the equation looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and do all of this part because we need to know what we're missing and what we have to find so we can fill everything in and then go from there. And I think on one of the videos I put a minus C right here. I think for tangent it should be plus C. So my fault. I'm sorry there. So here we need to see if there's an A. And again, remember with secant, there 9 times out of 10 won't be an A. So 9 times out of 10 there won't be here. We need to find a K, a C, and an H. And really for this problem again, we won't need to find A at all because there's no amplitude. There's no amplitude for this problem. It doesn't give you any amplitude. It doesn't say it up top, up there in the question. It doesn't say it up here. So therefore there's no amplitude. So we need to find K, C, and H. And H should be pretty easy to find. So let's do that one quick. Let's do that first. H, we know, should be -3, right? Because that means we're going to go down 3. So we just put a -3 on the back. So that's your H. Bam. Quick and easy. Done. Bam. Okay. Well, then let's go with K. Because I think if we find K, it'll make finding C easier. So yeah, we'll be able to do that part. All right. So let's go with K. And we're given the period and we're given the phase shift. Now, if we start off with trying to use the phase shift to help us find K, that won't really work because we're missing C and we're missing K, and we can't use something that we're missing 2 of to find a missing piece. So if we're missing 2 things, we can't use those 2 missing pieces to find a piece that we need to find. Something like that, yeah. So with that, we're going to start with our period. Now for period, we know for secant, it's 2 pi over K, right? Correct? Right. So here, we don't know what K is, but we know what the period is. We know what period is. And let's go ahead and, let me do this a little bit different. Let's make this equal to right here. Equal to. So we know our period is pi. Because that's what we have right here. That's our period. And we know that 2 pi over K is the formula for the period. That's our period for the K. Now, what we're going to have to do is just solve for K here to figure out what the answer is. Now here, you can do one of 2 things. Well, you can pretty much do a couple of things, but I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to cross multiply and pretty much make this pi over 1. I'm going to cross multiply. So here, and that's an arrow right there, we have K pi equals 2 pi. And hopefully everybody can just look at it and tell me what K is. I really hope. Everybody should see that K is equal to 2. Because if we divide both sides by pi, we have K and 2 left. So our K is 2. Easy. See, not hard. We got this. We really got this. Okay. So again, we have our H, we have our K. So we have our H we found already. Our K is what we just found. And now we need to find our C. And so the only thing that we can use to find C is our phase shift. Oh, why you keep jumping? So C, we're going to use our phase shift. Oh, sorry. Not an R. So phase shift equals negative c over k. And now here, our phase shift is pi over 3. So we're going to put that here, pi over 3. We don't know what c is yet, but we know what our k is because we just found that. Excuse me. So all we're going to do again is cross multiply, and we're going to solve for c. So all we're really doing is just dealing with ratios and solving ratios for a certain variable. So here, that would give us 2 pi equals negative 3c. And again, we're trying to find what c is, not what negative c is. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3, and that would give us negative 2 pi over 3 equals c. Okay, so that's that part. So we have our c, we have our k, and we have our h. So we found our c. Bam! So now we're going to put it into that equation right here, and we're going to have the equation of the secant graph that has a period of pi, a phase shift of pi over 3, and a vertical shift of negative 3. So I'm going to do this over here. K theta plus c plus h. And then here, again, there's no amplitude. So we're going to do y equals secant. K is 2, so 2 theta. Our phase shift is negative, so not phase shift, our c is negative 2 pi over 3. And our h is minus 3. And that is our equation, oh my gosh! And that's it. That's all you have to do. That's all she wrote. And that's your equation. Okay? So not hard, not bad at all. We got this.